Hi, I'm Sean Askew, Extension Turfgrass Weed Scientist at Virginia Tech. And today I want to share a little bit of information with you about crabgrass and how to control it in your lawn. So here we have a typical smooth crabgrass plant. If you're trying to figure out what type of weed you have, with crabgrass, the most common lookalikes are going to be Dallas grass and goosegrass. This is smooth crabgrass, and the characteristics that's going to separate it from many other grasses, you peel that leaf back, you're going to see that it has a little membrane right here where the leaf attaches to the stem. There's a little membrane right there. We call that the ligule. That is a characteristic that will separate crabgrass from many other species of grasses, but unfortunately it does not separate crabgrass from the two that I mentioned earlier, goosegrass and Dallas grass. The reason I make this distinction is that chemical control of crabgrass is different from chemical control of goosegrass and Dallas grass. So first let's talk about crabgrass. Controlling crabgrass, there's really only a few active ingredients on the market. There's several product names, and I'll talk about the market leading products, but there's a product called Drive, which is quinclorac. There are also several other products that either include quinclorac in the name. Quincept is an example of a product that is used that contains this active ingredient, but all of these are post-emergence crabgrass killers. Products that use that active ingredient tend to be applied most effectively early in the spring when crabgrass is young, or at this time of year in August or early September when the crabgrass is very old and mature. And so a single application of quinclorac is quite effective for controlling crabgrass at those times of year. One important concept related to using products like Drive would be the addition of an appropriate adjuvant. Now, the retailer that sells you your product can probably suggest the appropriate adjuvant. For most formulations of this crabgrass killer, we would use a methylated seed oil, but that is not necessarily required depending on the product. But crabgrass control is primarily going to be with products that contain quinclorac. Now, there are alternative products. For example, Acclaim is a product that also will control crabgrass when it is fairly mature. It can be used in cool season turf grasses, but not necessarily at effective rates in warm season turf grasses, so there's a bit of a difference there. And finally, one other product, Tenacity, which contains the active ingredient mesotrione, when repeat applied on seedling crabgrass can be quite effective. Now, why did I mention goosegrass and Dallas grass earlier? Well, goosegrass is not affected by quinclorac, and quinclorac is the ingredient in Drive and Quincept and the other products that I mentioned that is the #1 crabgrass killer, and yet it doesn't harm goosegrass. So for goosegrass control in a tall fescue lawn, you would need to use Acclaim or repeat applications of Tenacity on seedling plants. For Dallas grass control, there are no selective herbicides that will control Dallas grass, so you're going to have to spot treat that with a glyphosate containing product such as Roundup or similar. And when using Roundup to spot treat any turf or any weed, let's say for example this is our Dallas grass plant, there's two methods. One is you're going to use a sprayer and put that nozzle as close as possible to the plant so that you minimize the injury that's going to occur to your desirable turf, or you can use a sponge or foam dabber and just dab the center of the plant with a Roundup concentrated solution.